Hey, yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As in this recording, it is 5 p.m. You know what I mean? October 6th, 2025. You know what I'm saying? And this is the first video of the day. You know what I mean? I just finished, I'm actually washing dishes, you know what I mean? Because I had to cook some food. I'm actually going to prepare some food later tonight anyway for tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because y'all know I like to eat. You know what I'm saying? Not like that, but I gotta eat. You know what I mean? I gotta eat. I gotta eat. So there's really no news that's out except for two things. One that's more of a question there, but this one's basically the top news of the week. You know, Santos Escobar is no longer with WWE. You know, it was reported that I think Sean Ross said that his contract is expiring as of midnight tonight, and he basically turned down the contract offer with WWE. So basically, Santos Escobar is good as gone. You know, WWE do just fine. You know, I think Santos Escobar, you know, I don't think WWE really seen anything in him in terms of value and such. You know, the LWO, you know, was pretty much a group that, you know, this is why I told some fuck ass piece of shit motherfucker last year. You know, of Andrew Garza and her, you know, Humberto, Humberto, whatever the fuck you call it, you know, whatever the fuck you call this motherfucker. Like, you know, times it's done. Like, you can't do nothing with him. You know what I mean? And the same thing with Santos Escobar. You can't really do shit with him. You know what I mean? Which tells me that WWE is prepared to, you know, to make some big signings in free agency. You know what I mean? Like, especially from AEW. You know what I mean? I think we're definitely going to see the likes of right now, you know, of Britt Baker and Danhausen and fucking Private Party coming in. Jericho. You know what I mean? So you can tell. You know what I'm saying? You can really tell, you know, where WWE's mindset is. And also in that same report, it was noted by Sean Ross Pussy that you know, he's noticed that there's been people who's been turning down deals. You know what I mean? Like Karrion Kross and Jasmine Nix and such, right? The last couple of weeks. You know, and there's more expected. I mean, listen, you know, WWE is not going to hold your hand. They're not going to hold your hand. You know, they're not going to let people. There was a report saying that they're not going to let, you know, that they're not going to punish anyone who walks out. Like, fuck, if you want to walk out, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's basically a take it or leave it situation. Right? But let's keep it real, okay? Talents like Santos Escobar and such is not really going to be missed. You know what I mean? They're not really going to be missed. Oh, and that's another thing too, because he also was posting on social media. So whenever you see a wrestler post a lot on social media, and such, that means they're good as gone. You know what I mean? They're good as gone and such. That's another thing too. You know, these are talents that, like I said, they don't hold anything. You know, now all of a sudden they're like, oh, Santos Escobar is fucking great. Oh, man, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, man. You know, if he goes to AEW, he goes to AEW. What the fuck you want me to do? Huh? You know, there was also a report saying that, I don't know if this is true, but saying how you know, WWE had him booked to win the mega, you know, the AAA World Championship and such, right? And I don't know if that's true. Damn, I hate watching this shit, man. You know, I don't know if that's absolutely true. I don't know. But I mean, listen. You know, wherever he goes, great. You know, I'm not gonna get upset. It's just the way of the business. You know, just like that video I posted saying that, you know, you're always gonna have wrestlers go to different sides. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be like that. Always. You know? It's like, you can't help it. Like, no one is loyal to a wrestling company. No one's loyal to a professional wrestling company. You know, if Santos Escobar were to go to AEW, be my guest. Be my guest. It's not like listen. Let's also keep it a stack about Santos Escobar. All right, it's not like Santos Escobar is gonna be. He's gonna turn around and kill it in the Indies and such. He's not a Cody Rhodes. He's not a Drew McIntyre. Hell, he's not even. He's not even a fucking Matt Cardona. You know what I mean? Like, if you want your next big star, WWE has their next big star in Matt Cardona. Yes. Yeah, I mean, you know that WWE is going to be signed. They're going to sign Matt Cardona for sure. He's going to be signed. Like I said, Santos Escobar again is a guy who, he was just there. I mean, he was there. He's an okay wrestler. He's not bad. He's not bad at anything, but to me, his best bet is to just wrestle in Mexico. Just wrestle in Mexico, and I mean, he's probably gonna wrestle it. Like I said, will I be shocked if he wrestles in AEW? No. You know what I mean? He probably might. I bet you he's gonna join the Don Callis family. That'd be some shit if he goes to the Don Callis family. Like, wow, he signs to AEW just to join that piece of shit trio. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable, B. Unbelievable. But like I said, I wish Santos nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? I hope he does well wherever he lands. Who knows? Maybe he might wrestle in TNA. You never know. We've seen people, go from WWE to TNA. We've seen that. You know what I'm saying? We've clearly seen that, and I guess he's one of those people. He could be one of those people, right? But the thing is, what good is that if he's basically, WWE doesn't see him as. They don't see him as a legit talent, who they can really, utilize and such. So, what good is that? What good is that? Putting him in TNA. What good is that? I mean, what good? There is no good in that. I mean, there's clearly no good in that. I mean, what the fuck is he gonna do in TNA? Nothing. He ain't gonna do shit. He's not gonna do a fucking thing. But just to be part of the hype train, and that's it. That's all the wrestlers do. You know what I mean? Like, nobody will never be. And I made a video about this. Nobody will ever be. People talk about Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre and stuff. What about AJ Styles? Remember when AJ hit the independents? Remember when he hit the independents and I mean, he set the world on fire after leaving TNA. You know what I mean? He eventually made it to WWE, and the rest was what they say history. You'll never see a scenario ever again like an AJ Styles. You know what I mean? It could have happened with Ricochet, but Ricochet fucked up and decided to go to AEW where he's not even. But then again, no, let me take that back about Ricochet, because his personality, with how he carries himself, it fits AEW. It totally fits. It fits. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I'm saying? I might be making another video tonight. I don't know, because I got to take care of a lot of shit for work. Now, I mean, we'll see. Maybe I might come with a late video. I don't know. I mean, depends how I'm feeling. But I'm gonna check y'all. Peace. Oh gosh. Dun, 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 dun.